Watching News at Prime, let's bring you this conversation now. Parliament's ad hoc committee looking into police corruption has postponed its hearings until the KwaZulu-Natal Commissioner, Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, concludes his testimony at the Madlanga Commission. Evidence leader, Advocate Norman Arendse, telling members of Parliament today that Mkhwanazi will only be available after the 22nd of September. Mkhwanazi in July claimed that the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team was shut down after it found alleged links between criminal syndicates, politicians, business people and members of the judiciary. Committee chairperson Soviet Lekganyane joining us tonight for more on this particular decision. Good evening to you, sir, and thank you for your time. Let's start with this postponement. Was it inevitable that you were going to have to delay your work given the scheduling clashes with the Madlanga inquiry?
Good evening to you and your viewers. I think the last time I did an interview with yourselves, one of your colleagues, I explained that we have a situation where two arms of the state, Parliament and the executive, the President in particular, have appointed the ad hoc committee and a commission of inquiry and dealing with the same, more or less the same subject. So, but the same witnesses. We met as the ad hoc committee. We agreed that General Mkhwanazi must be the first witness on our list. And at the time we made contact with him, we found that he was already at the commission. Unfortunately, he can't divide himself into two halves. One half that will be with the commission and the other half with us. It's a dilemma that he found himself in, and it required us that we engage with the commission and explore the options that were available. And we found that the commission would have loved to have him until the 22nd of September.
Yeah.
And look, it's not a situation that he created. He has expressed his willingness to cooperate with the ad hoc committee and appear before it. But unfortunately, he is in that situation, and one of the two institutions have to compromise.
Okay, Mr. Lekganyane, I'm told you are back. Please, do you want to begin that response? We completely lost you there.
Yes, I'm saying that it's a question which we put in the committee meeting today to check if the committee would have wanted to review its position on General Mkhwanazi becoming the first witness. And the overwhelming view was that it will be illogical to start with any other witness because we are investigating the allegations that General Mkhwanazi made on that day of the 6th of July. So it's logical that he becomes the first witness to appear before the committee.
At the start of this ad hoc committee, I remember the time that you were elected chairperson. I think it would have been on the same day, if not the very next day, that the member of the ANC, who's part of this committee, Mr. Mdumiseni Ntuli, suggested or proposed that you move your inquiry to Johannesburg or to Gauteng, let me put it that way, so that you are able to lessen the scheduling issues. Are you now confronted with that very issue? And where did that conversation end? Is it still something you could consider?
Look, at that time, you'd remember Parliament was in recess during the month of August, and members felt that it was going to be convenient for them if our proceedings were happening in Johannesburg. But now Parliament is back in action. All members are back in Cape Town. And the strongest feeling of the committee members is that everything must happen here in Cape Town. But look, you would know the doctrine of separation of powers that's the trias politica. There is no other arm of the state that will want to be manifestly seen playing second fiddle to the other. And dynamics like this one, they become even sharper in a coalition arrangement. So members are alive to that. That is why the strongest feeling is that everything must happen within the parliament precinct.
Okay, but you do have a particular challenge, and that is to produce a report by the end of October, or am I completely mistaken?
You are so accurate, and I don't even want to say to you that we will not complete our work by the 31st of October, and I as well do not want to say to you that we are going to ask for an extension. The least I can say to you is that Parliament has given us until the 31st of October. So we will have to do work at some point, very realistic. If a situation arises, the Speaker of Parliament is the leader of the institution, we will talk to her and she will give us guidance on what the committee should do.
Yeah. All right. So at this stage, there is no telling whether you will be asking for an extension, but it does appear inevitable.
We can anticipate that, but remember we are working on a resolution of Parliament, which we ourselves as a committee do not have the power or the privilege to change. So whatever time we start doing work, we will be working with the understanding that by the 31st of October, we must go and report back to Parliament. Until the Speaker says, no, this is what we have observed, and we want to take your matter back to Parliament for reconsideration.
Yeah. Are you worried at all, as a final question to you, are you worried at all about public trust, losing public trust, given this, given the situation you face now, where you've effectively been forced to start your work much later than you would have liked?
Look, the bar of leadership is always very high. And for sure, you might have heard us speaking in previous occasions that public faith in our state organs has declined. So it's a challenge on our part as the leadership, not only as the ad hoc committee, but anybody in the leadership and managerial position in government, that we must work in such a way that we can reinstill public confidence in the work of the state. I mean, South Africans are looking at us to deliver services. I mean, you are in the media industry. We are not oblivious to development that we see every day in the media. So that is an alarm bell to the leadership at every level, at every institution, big or small, to say whatever we do, we have said that we are doing it in the name of the people of this country, and we must manifestly be doing exactly that.
Yeah. You raise an important matter now. I was willing to let you go before you said what you said, and it's to do with exactly what you've just pointed out, that we are in the media space and we are fully alert to the goings on, particularly within the top management of the police. There are these 121 documents that were much of the focus in the last few days. But that aside, the work of the political killings task team in KZN, we are now told it is in full swing because they've gotten these documents back and they have started arresting people. I'll ask you a similar question I asked to the Madlanga inquiry. Are you worried that this could muddy the waters of your investigation, given that these documents presumably are at the center of what you will be investigating? Is there a worry that there could be either tampering or people could be arrested that all I'm trying to say is that, is this going to muddy the waters, so to speak?
Look, the mandate of our committee is not to stop the organs of state on which we play oversight from doing their work. But for sure, not even as a member of parliament, as an ordinary citizen, my understanding is that those who occupy positions of leadership in government institutions must understand that ordinary South Africans may not have the voice, the representation that those who are privileged would have. Those 121 cases involve children who want answers about their parents, wives who have lost spouses, or husbands who would have lost their wives. You know, the vulnerable sections of our community. And the question is, in your position in Gambia, why would it have taken so long for you to ensure that justice is done for those children who will not have the privilege that you have?
Yeah.
I don't know how long those cases have been, but it's very, very painful. This can never be a way to run the administration of a country, especially a democratic state like South Africa. It's very, very painful. It's an experience that must never happen to any South African without giving a judgment or being specific, giving a specific answer to the question that you have asked.
Yeah.
We are the leadership of this country. We are parliament. It must never happen to any South African that they have to wait for so long. They have to wait for a press conference to be made that 121 cases have disappeared or cannot be accounted for. And after that press conference, that is the only time we see some kind of agency. It can be interpreted as lip service, and it begs many questions to be answered. If that press conference on the 6th of July has not happened, it means those voiceless South Africans, up until today, they would not have had answers or any sense of justice to what would have happened to their loved ones. I mean, it's a call to everybody in the administration of the state. And for sure, my greatest wish is that we must never rise as a country to experience cases of maladministration like this again.
Thank you very much indeed for your time, sir. Soviet Lekganyane is the chairperson of Parliament's Ad hoc Committee that's tasked with investigating the possible corruption, or call it collusion, between police, politicians, business people and criminal syndicates.